Hi, hey, hello, how are ya? Buckle up, kiddos, because this is gonna be all over the place. This is going to be a channeled message. I have been instructed to not use cards, to not even just with you guys and with this channeled message, but in general right now at this portal for myself. Obviously, if I have a private reading and I'm using cards for someone else, that is permitted by my guides, but they are not wanting me to get my information from the cards, and they are also very much so wanting me to stop asking. Okay, so happy full lunar eclipse, blood moon in Sagittarius happening. It already happened, right? Or I think the eclipse already happened. Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to dig into that for you guys, but either way, you're feeling the energy. It's intense. And if you're anything like me, you did not sleep at all last night. This energy was so crazy that you were just tossing and turning and kind of like going through a dark night of the soul that was way less emotional as it was analytical, as it was fast brain. So I can't say, although I did have a good cry as well. So I was going to say, but the interesting thing is it's like everything is going really well energetically. Like the twins are really working together right now. We're in harmony and we're clearing the karma once and for all. Really, really trust and believe that. So even if things feel kind of sticky, know that like we have never been more in harmony. We have never been working more closely in the 5D, in the astral, and even for some in the 3D. We're really, really unified. I mean, the cards, when I was allowed to use them, I was getting twin flame cards. I was getting Empress and Emperor. I was getting, Jesus and Mary. I was getting all the couples coming out together, the High Priestess and the Magician, the Sun and the Moon, so we're really, really on this wavelength. We're in this little portal of a lot of change and working together and bringing forth this new timeline. I do have notes that I have to take because I can just tell you right now, with the Gemini influence, the Mercury retrograde, the Gemini sun, this intense moon, and to be honest with you, I know Sagittarius is a fire sign, but the way that Sagittarius has always felt in my body is very air signy, and I wonder if people relate to this. Sagittarius has always been one of those signs that I'm like, I see why it's fire. I do. I get the fire, but it's a totally different vibe of a fire. It feels more airy to me. So I am experiencing this as very like rapid channeling, rapid thoughts, and it's very difficult to slow my brain down and ground, which is why I was called to do this reading to try and make sense of everything that's coming through. So I did have to take notes to keep me grounded. But back to the sleepless night, it's like everything's going pretty well, but your mind, that swords energy, is wanting to trip you up. There's a lot of like devil energy on the outskirts, and it's our own karma, and it's also other sort of entities that we're just going to have to be very mindful of at this time. The veil is very thin. And so when that happens, there's a possibility to sink into those old mind space patterns. And so when your mind is very active and it's kind of running amok and you don't have it trained and you're not super grounded, it can really get you thinking that things are going worse than they are. And it can really get you thinking like everything's a mess. Like, so I was up at night, really ruminating on shit that did not matter, which is not my normal. I have to say, I know this is something that people really struggle with in their life, and I do have a very active mind, but I've worked so hard to train it that this is not the norm for me. And I could go into human design here, but I'm not. I'm going to save that because that'll make this video too long. But yeah, so what's happening for me is I'm really getting to experience what it's like to feel this like overactive mind all the time. And so last night I was like, I even consciously knew like, why am I thinking about this? This doesn't matter. It's going to work itself out. There's no reason for me to stress about it. And yet it wouldn't allow me to sleep. So that being said, if you're anything like me, let's set the intention that we're going to have beautiful, restful calm, peaceful sleep tonight. And so it is. Okay, so time is slowing down right now, right? Time is an illusion. Time is nonlinear. It's only something that we use to guide us in the 3D, right? But it is, we've all agreed that, or we can all agree that time is something we use in the 3D, but it is non-existent in other realms, and it's definitely not measured in the way we measure in the 3D. That being said, in the 3D right now, time is slowing down. It is stretching really far and slowing down. I've had the experience multiple times today of watching the clock, trying to focus on something else, looking down at not the clock, looking up, and less than a minute has passed. So I'm literally watching the minutes slowly pass. I almost hear like a ticking clock. I have been told that because of this channel and all this activity that's going on in my mind, I'm getting a lot of cross wires with the masculine collective. For whatever reason, I've been selected as somebody that I can channel them very well, and I can hear their thoughts a lot of the time. And this isn't like my masculine in particular or specifically. This is like the collective, and it may not even just be divine masculines. I could be listening to like just masculines out there in the world, right? So, but there is this tick. There is this like, I can hear the talk. I can hear the clock ticking. And so time is slowing down in the 3D because it is speeding up in the 5D. Okay, so the work we are doing in the 5D is we are jumping timelines. Okay, we are jumping timelines, which eclipses bring. Eclipses come in and they fast pace you. They fast track you to get you on the right path. So it's almost like you jump like 4 chapters in your book, in the book of life, and it's like 4 chapters that were really just setting up the plot that you don't really need, right? So we jump forward. And if for whatever reason you picked up another book and started reading another book that you weren't meant to read at that time, the eclipse brings you back to the book that you need to read. Okay, so that's kind of the energy. It's very anxious. If you can tell by my energy, which I know you all are very intuitive and insightful, you can feel my energy, and it's like very different than it normally is. So there's a speed up in the 5D, but a slow down in the 3D. How do we counteract with this? We breathe. We ground. We slow the fuck down. Pardon my French. If we do not slow down, we are at risk for injuring ourselves, making mistakes, sending the email to the wrong person, sending an embarrassing text to the wrong person, getting ourselves in paperwork, legal trouble by silly minor errors, not important, like something that could really mess up our well-being down the road that's so unnecessary and didn't need to happen. So slow down. Stay still, stay quiet. Quiet is key. Being present and quiet, because if you're quiet, so basically what I mean by that is your mind is going to have this tendency to want to stay distracted right now. It's very Gemini energy. You're going to want to have like the radio going, and radio, who listens to the radio? I guess some people do. But you're going to want to be listening to music while listening to a podcast, while cooking, while making a to-do list in your head, while channeling, while tuning into your masculine. You're going to want to be doing all these things. And they're like, no, we need you still, which is partly probably why they're like, get away from the cards, because they keep you busy, they keep you moving. We need you still. That's how the messages are going to come through. So sit still, stay present, stay quiet as much as you can. This may be extremely uncomfortable. This may be your work. This may be your only work right now, divine feminines. I'm talking to divine masculines too. Actually, let me correct that. So if any divine masculines are tuning in, I'm talking to you both. Sit still, stay quiet. That alone could be so challenging and difficult right now. But it is groundbreaking if you're able to do that. Okay? And I'm with this, I'm in on this with you, and it's really challenging me. And it is normally not this challenging. And I know for some people it's challenging to even sit still for 2 minutes or just sit in a 5-minute meditation. Right now it's going to be heightened. Right now that is going to be heightened. Okay? So stay with it. Go with the flow. Try not to resist this discomfort, because the more you resist the discomfort, the more you're gonna, like, it's gonna feel worse. And that's kind of what I was experiencing last night. So I eventually just had to surrender to, I'm not sleeping right now. Let me just allow it and let me just be. And the weird thing is, I woke up earlier today than I've woken up in so long, and I haven't gotten tired yet. I don't even have like bags under my eyes. It's weird. This this moon energy is weird. So just trust it. Let go of your preconceived ideas around anything. So for me, my preconceived idea is I need this amount of sleep at night to function and to be okay. I didn't. So, and last night when I was in pain because I couldn't get to sleep, if I would have just surrendered to the flow of, I'm awake right now for a reason, if I would have surrendered earlier, because I eventually did, but if I would have surrendered earlier, I would have been in pain a lot less, like not as long, okay? Okay, so stay quiet, go with the flow, ask for help, ask for guidance. Make your life a moving prayer right now if you need to. So this could be very uncomfortable. All of this could be very uncomfortable. So be asking for help, asking for guidance. I mean, on the regular, I've been, help me ease into this, bring me peace, surrender me, help me rest, whatever. I mean, I talk to my guides and I talk to the angels just like they're like a homie, really, truly at this point. I don't use any flowery, special, spiritual language. I just talk to them. They are always, always available and welcoming that energy, okay? Stay protected from the lower astral realms, because that's where that trickster, coyote, devil energy is going to live for you. And when your mind is like this, your mind can be a little vulnerable, okay? So be careful. Just protective spells, clearing with your sage, intention setting, that's all super important. Okay. Where do I want to go next? Yeah, okay. Crazy. We're very, very close to union people. I have to tell you this. And if you're one of those people that's like, well, not me, I just know it's not me. I'm talking to everybody. Yes, you can push your union further away. If you let that devil trickster energy come in, you absolutely can. And this, by the way, though, this is not your choice when this happens. This is not your twin's choice. This is the divine's choice. And the divine is saying now. It's now. We are being prepared, okay? We are working together. There's so much karma releasing, and we are the closest that we've ever been, okay? I don't want to spend too much more time on that energy or going down that rabbit hole. If you are struggling with believing that, know that there is something within your field that still needs to be released. It could be karma. It could be childhood trauma and wounding, okay? It could be trauma and wounding from interactions with your twin. It could be past life. Okay, so there's many different little options to go into. And guess what? All of those can be cleared with energy healing and intention setting. So as the guidance is telling us, get quiet, get still, spend time in meditation, do energy clearing. If you have no idea what else to do with yourself at this time, do energy clearing. And even if it's really challenging, even if your mind is still racing and you can't get that calm, serene feeling, that's okay. Just let it be and stay committed. It's like, this is when the work really shows up for us, is when it's hard. It's like you train and you train and you train, and then you get to the Olympics, and that's when you're at the Olympics now. So hopefully your work shows up for you. It's that kind of idea. Like, yes, we are at this, like, it's like this condension. It's so funny when that happens, when I see this happen to other readers too. The words just leave. Anyways, contraction, maybe contraction is the word I'm looking for, but there's like this contraction that we're in right now, right before the release, right before the blessings. And yeah, I'm not gonna spend any more time on that because yeah, I'm guided not to. Okay. One thing I shared, if you follow me on TikTok, you may have already caught this message. If not, I'm going to reiterate it here. A very clear message I got is that the masculine and the feminines are actually trading places. And we've already been experiencing that, with certain dynamics, certain energies where perhaps feminines, you've felt kind of how the masculines felt originally. You've been working through the fears that they've felt. You've maybe felt a lot of 3D intensity that the masculines have always felt. So now you're finally understanding what it means to have so much karma in the 3D that you can't even see your own head through the trees, or whatever that expression is. Right? So we're getting to understand what that is, whereas the masculines are then getting to understand the depth, the emotion, the remembrance of this connection, the truth, the spiritual insights, and therefore the pain of that, and understanding where that pain comes from. Right? We've really switched. And a clear download I got is that we're switching in the mind space right now, in the way that we think and the way that we process. So a good clue to kind of check in, because you may not be in this crazy energy I'm in. You might, because of the moon. But what this message is really asking you to do is to tune into what are your thoughts like right now. And if they feel a little foreign, if they feel a little different than they normally are, know that that's because you're tuning into the way that your masculine or your feminine processes thought forms. And a good clue to kind of get you started on this like excavation and this deep diving here is look at what your person's moon is in their astrology chart. Is their moon in Gemini? Is their moon in Scorpio? Is their moon in Pisces? Is their moon in Virgo? Where's their moon? Okay. And see, can you make some connections to what a moon in Virgo person might feel, how they might process their thoughts, and then see if that's happening for you. And then whatever your moon is in and how you're normally processing, know that your masculine is getting confronted with some of those thoughts and kind of emotions and feelings and ways that they're processing their world and they're taking in their world, because Spirit is trying to get us to an equal playing field for the mission work, so that we can really be coming like two halves of the same whole, coming from the same place, because things are about to get really, I don't want to say intense, because I feel like it's going to feel very positive and exciting, but we're going to get to work. We're essentially going to get to work. And that's why the divine is like, now, now, union, now. Okay. So we're switching the mind space. And this is the last piece I will share with you. So this is really exciting. And I can't wait to dive into this when I'm allowed to use the cards again. Okay. So the feminines are pulling in new templates right now. We are pulling in new ideas, new codes from the higher realms. We're just going to call it the higher realms. We're going to be really broad and really general. And we're pulling this down. And the masculines are then going to ground this information. They're going to ground this information for the unions. So the feminines are in this kind of portal, this place right now, where everything I mentioned at the beginning of this reading and up till now might be, those might resonate very deeply. The bigger picture is because you're pulling in these new ideas. The feminines are very much in creator, masculine, creation, manifestor energy, whereas the masculines are more in the feelings, yin, kind of like inward shadow working energy, okay, that is more associated with the feminine. So what's going to happen though, it's going to be really beautiful, is the feminines are going to be pulling this in and dropping this information down, because this is part of our new templates for New Earth and for mission work. So the feminines are bringing this down. You do not need to consciously, intellectually understand what you're pulling down. Just trust you're getting the light activations, the DNA upgrades, and they're entering into your body at this time. That's all you need to know. If you're one of the lucky ones who starts to connect to those pieces and you're very awake and very conscious to the journey, congratulations. Please tell us about it. I'd love to hear what you're birthing. But for the rest of us, it's okay. Just know that that's what's happening. So if you need more food, if you need more sleep, if you need less sleep, if you need less food, if you need isolation, if you need stimulation, go with it. Okay, just listen to the guidance and trust, because you're probably going to be in the extremes of it for a while. Anytime we're in that output creative creation energy, it's intense, right? It's an extreme. And we're not going to be there forever, because once we pull this down, and the divine will decide when it's complete, that is when these unions are going to really ground in, because then the masculines are going to come in, and with their beautiful codes and templates that they already hold within their body, they're going to be able to ground this information, and then boom, that's the work that the two of you are going to begin doing. And that's when it will become a little bit more conscious, and it'll make a little bit more sense. And I guarantee you, I mean, it's going to be so cool to see. We're going to start seeing these like unions pop up, and people talk, you know, with their specific codes, the things that they've been attuned to, the things that they've been ordained with, the knowledge, just coming up out of nowhere. And I'm so excited. Okay. Let me just make sure that was all I wanted to share. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to leave you with that. Many, many full moon blessings. Love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, your donations, all of it. It just means the world. I'm so grateful. And if you are wanting to dive a little bit deeper and have a little bit deeper understanding of your specific story dynamic, whatever's going on, I would love to do a private session with you. The information is in the description. You can book below. That's all I'm going to say for now. Yeah. Bye.